In this morning's Torah reading, Moses speaks to the people of Israel and teaches us important eternal lessons about Jewish unity. We can do it, and it's our choice. First lesson, Jewish unity. Everyone is standing together, the great scholars with the woodcutters and water drawers. This teaches us that every single person is important in God's eyes, and everyone has a vital role to play. It also shows us the importance of unity. We are one, and we must always be united. The second lesson, we can do it. Sometimes it seems as if the Torah is very hard and there are so many things we must do and so many that we may not do, that it feels like in keeping the Torah is like crossing a great big ocean, almost too hard to be done. But in this Torah reading, God assures us that the Torah is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you surely can do it. Third, it's our choice. The world is made up of good and bad, and the Torah tells us what is the good path to follow. But it is up to us to choose what we want to do with our lives. The Torah teaches us, choose life. This is the fundamental lesson. Choose life so that you may live.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
אתם ניצבים היום כולכם לפני אדוני אלוהיכם מושכם שבטיכם זקניכם ושוטריכם כל איש ישראל טבכם נשיכם וגריך אשר בקרב מחניך מכותב עציך עד שואב ממך לעברך בברית אדוני אלוהיך ובעלתו אשר אדוני אלוהיך כורת עמך היום.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
You stand this day, all of you, before Adonai your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel.
Your little ones, your wives, and your stranger who is in your camp, from the hewer of your wood to the drawer of your water.
That you should enter into covenant with Adonai your God, and into his oath, which Adonai your God makes with you this day.
That God may establish you today for a people to God, and that God may be to you a God, as God has said to you, and as God has sworn to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob.
And not with you alone will I make this covenant and this oath.
But each one who stands here with us this day before Adonai our God, and also with each one who is not here with us today.
For this commandment, which I command you this day, is not hidden from you, nor is it far off.
It is not in heaven that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it?
Nor is it beyond the sea that you should say, Who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it?
But the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it.
See, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil.
In that I command you this day to love Adonai your God, and to walk in God's way, to keep God's commandment and God's statutes and his judgment, that you may live and multiply. And Adonai your God shall bless you in the land which you are entering to possess.
But if your heart turns away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away, and worship other gods and serve them,
I announce to you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon this land, to which you are going over the Jordan to enter and possess.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live.
That you may love Adonai your God, and that you may obey God's voice, and that you may cleave to God, for God is your life, and the length of your days, that you may live in the land which Adonai swore to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah, u'v'Moshe avdo, u'v'Yisrael amo, u'v'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
God says, cry with a full throat, do not hold back. Let your voice resound like a shofar. Declare to my people their transgression, and to the house of Jacob their sin. Yes, they seek me daily, as though eager to learn my ways, as if they were a people that does what is right, and has not forsaken the way of its God.
They ask of me the right way, as though delighting in the nearness of God. When we fast, you say, why do you pay no heed? Why, when we afflict ourselves, do you take no notice?
Because on your fast day, you pursue your own affairs, while you oppress all your workers. Because your fasting leads only to strife and discord, while you strike with cruel fist. Such a way of fasting on this day will not help you to be heard on high.
Is this the fast I have chosen, a day of self-affliction? Bowing your head like a reed, and covering yourself with sackcloth and ashes? Is this what you call a fast, a day acceptable to the Eternal? Is not this the fast I have chosen, to unlock the shackles of injustice, to loosen the ropes of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to tear every yoke apart? Surely it is to share your bread with the hungry, and to bring the homeless poor into your house, when you see the naked to cover them, never withdrawing yourself from your own kin.
Then shall your light break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall quickly blossom. Your righteous one will walk before you. The glory of the Eternal One will be your rear guard. Then when you call, the Eternal One shall answer. When you cry, God will say, here I am.
If you remove lawlessness from your midst, the pointing finger, the malicious word, if you give yourself to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall shine in the darkness, and your night become bright as noon. The Eternal One will guide you always, filling your throat in parched lands, and renewing your body's strength. You shall be like a garden overflowing with water, like a spring that never fails. Some of you shall rebuild the ancient ruins, rebuilding the foundations of ages past. You shall be called repairer of the breach, restorer of the streets to dwell in.
If you keep from trampling the Sabbath, from pursuing your own affairs on my holy day, if you call the Sabbath a delight, the Eternal One's holy day honored, if you honor it, abstaining from journeys, from carrying on your own affairs, or speaking of them, then you shall delight in the Eternal One. I will make you to ride upon the heights of the earth, and I will feed you with the portion of Jacob your father. The Eternal One has spoken.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzaddik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'yoseh, ha'medaber u'mkayem, shekol devarav, emet v'tzedek. Ne'eman, atahu Adonai Eloheinu, v'ne'emanim devarecha, v'davar echad midvarecha, achor lo yashuv rekam, ki el melech ne'eman, v'rachaman ata, baruch ata Adonai, ha'el ha'ne'eman, b'chol devarav. Rachem al Zion, ki hi beit chayenu, v'la lufat nefesh toshia, bimhera v'yamenu, baruch ata Adonai, mesamech Zion, bevaneha. Samchenu, Adonai Eloheinu, b'Eliyahu hanavi avdecha, uv'malchut beit David mashichecha, bimhera yavo, v'yagel libenu, al kisolo yeshev zar, v'lo yinchelu od acherim et kavodo. Ki v'shem kachecha nishbata lo, shelo yichbe nero leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai, Magen David. Al haTorah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al hanvim, v'al yom ha'kippurim hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, limchila v'lislicha, l'chapara, l'chavod u'tifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach. Umavarachim otach, yitbarach shimcha, befi kochai, tamid leolam va'ed, udvarcha emet v'kayam la'ad, baruch ata Adonai, melech mochel, v'solech la'avanotenu, la'avonot amo beit Yisrael, uma'avir Ashmotenu b'chol shana v'shana. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. V'yom ha'kippurim. Amen.